So I am a huge fan of Reolink cameras for reasons I'll get into later, but last year I reviewed their RLC 511 rugged outdoor camera, and basically it had the best resolution I have ever seen in a security camera, and now they've brought that same better than HD 5 megapixel sensor to a new camera designed for indoors, the C2 Pro. Let's take a closer look and see if this is the indoor security camera you're looking for. So inside the box you'll find the usual quick start guide and 24-hour surveillance warning sticker, which I really wish they would reverse so you can stick it inside the window rather than outside. A short Ethernet cable, a 5-volt 2-amp USB power adapter with UK and Euro plugs in our set, but yours may vary in the US, plus a really long USB power cable. A plastic adjustable mounting arm and screws for wall or ceiling attachment. Then of course you have the camera itself. So the C2 Pro is strictly an indoor camera, and as such it doesn't have any rugged features, it's not waterproof and should not be used outdoors under any circumstances. The only thing you won't find in this package is an SD card, but you should get one because it will then enable local recording. So the C2 Pro does need to be connected to power at all times. It doesn't run off batteries, it doesn't run off PoE, and it doesn't have solar panels like some of the other models. So ultimately that may restrict you a little bit in terms of where to place it. However, there are advantages to being powered all the time. Additionally, you can keep it plugged in through Ethernet. However, it also has dual band Wi-Fi built in. The design is identical to some of their other models. I have the Reolink Keen here. The only difference, as well as the lower resolution, is that the Keen is battery powered, which restricts viewing somewhat. It has to wake up if you just want to live view it, and you can't hook this up to any external software for 24/7 recording. With the C2 Pro, because it's powered all the time, you can record 24/7 if you want to, and it's very quick to live view the video to your desktop or otherwise. Initial setup needs to be done over Ethernet, so pop over next to your router and just plug it in. However, other than plugging it in, there really is no setup to be done. Just open up the app and the camera will automatically appear. From there you can click on it and add things like Wi-Fi details, name the camera, set up schedules, etc. Of course, you can leave it running off of Ethernet if you wish, either through the included cable or anything else you have. It won't power itself over Ethernet, however, so even if you have a PoE equipped system, you can't use that, but you can plug it into standard Ethernet for networking. Or once you've set up the Wi-Fi details, feel free to simply unplug it, remove the Ethernet cable, and then move it to its final location. I moved ours into the garage to keep an eye on my car. So what makes this C2 Pro model different from all the other multitude of budget security cameras out there? So firstly, in terms of hardware, as I mentioned, it's one of the highest resolution cameras you can get with the 5 megapixel sensor while still being affordable. Most of the budget models you'll find are 720p or 1080p if you're lucky. So the resolution of this camera is in fact 2560 by 1920p. So while that isn't quite 4K resolution, it's probably closer to 2.5K if that's a thing. But look, the point is the image is absolutely stunning. It is the best you're going to get, which is especially important if you're going to zoom it. But even if you're just using it in the small room, then that added resolution, that added clarity is great if anything does actually happen. It also has full PTZ control or pan tilt zoom, which of course you can do remotely via the app on mobile or desktop. And it has talkback audio. Another important differentiating factor is that on the Reolink models, you don't need to pay for extra cloud hosting plans. There is no cloud hosting, so there are no ongoing costs. Everything is done locally to the SD card. That said, you can live view remotely of all of your cameras, even if you are away from home and not on your Wi-Fi connection. Over your 3G or 4G, someone else's Wi-Fi, you can view the feeds right out of the box with no additional setup required. In addition, the feed is compatible with third-party software such as Synology Surveillance Station. So if you did want to record 24/7, that's one option to do it. The last thing I really like about Reolink cameras, generally speaking, but also specifically about this model, is that they have some fantastic desktop software, which is something very few manufacturers offer. Now, it is a bit disjointed with the mobile app. The interface is completely different, but it is a pretty comprehensive prosumer level bit of software. So you can keep it open on your desktop and keep an eye on your cameras with either a 4-up or a 9-up view, things like that. The Reolink mobile app offers a similar feature set, albeit presented slightly differently, but you can still have that multiple camera view, etc. You can also set up motion alerts directly to your phone, as well as emails that include a little snapshot of what it saw. Now, setting up the email alerts is a little bit more complicated. If you're using Gmail, for instance, then you need to enable insecure third-party access, which you might not be happy to do. Now, I did set it up with Gmail, that worked fine for me, but you can also use other servers if you want. So as I mentioned, there are no ongoing costs. Even if you're away from home and you want to live view the cameras, you can do that straight away through the mobile app, and everything is stored locally on the device, so there are no cloud storage fees. So as you've seen throughout this review, it does great daytime vision, nighttime vision, really high resolution. It has full pan, tilt and zoom. It's very easy to mount. You've got talkback capabilities, as well as a well-designed bit of mobile software and comprehensive desktop software. It's really very hard to fault this device, but the only thing that's missing is the lack of Alexa Show support. Now, this might not be a big deal for you, and for me, it isn't particularly either. It seems like more of a fad than a useful feature I use every day, but it would be nice to have that option in there. So if Alexa support is critical for you, then you should look elsewhere. So Reolink has such a huge range of complete NVR systems and camera models to suit every budget and requirement. If you do plan on building out a larger network with more than one camera, I would absolutely suggest going with Reolink, not only because they have something for all of your needs, they even have something completely powered by solar if you needed it remotely in the garden. But as well as that, the software just ties everything together really nicely, makes all your different kind of cameras visible in one single app, which is great. So that's the Reolink C2 Pro. It's the best quality indoor security camera I've seen yet at a pretty affordable price and backed up by some really great Reolink software. So if you do want an outdoors rugged model instead, then check out my review of the RLC 511, link up there I think. That's powered over PoE while being completely waterproof, but with the exact same 5 megapixel image sensor, so you get really great quality images. Thanks for watching, and I hope I've helped you to make up your mind about purchasing the Reolink C2 Pro. If I have, hit like and consider subscribing. We do 2 or 3 giveaways every single week, as well as the occasional tech tips, tricks and tutorials. If you didn't like my review, then hit me up in the comments. Let's talk about it. Until next time.